Welcome back, everybody, to another reaction to an epic rap battle from history. I hope you guys have been enjoying this series as I react to the ones that have some historical connection. I know there are a lot of really good epic rap battles that have nothing to do with history, and unfortunately I just don't have the knowledge, or really it doesn't fit with the theme of the channel for me to react to those, so I'm trying to do some of these slowly. I'm only going to do one at a time from now on, just because there aren't that many left for me to react to. Today we're going to take a look at Marilyn Monroe versus Cleopatra. Now, these are two characters in history that I know a little something about. I probably won't catch every single reference, but I'll try to catch as many as I can. As always, the link is in the description to the original content. Please head over there and give them a like and a subscribe if you would. And before you do anything else, don't hit another minute of this video until you go down right now, hit subscribe, turn on the notification bell so you never miss another video. I have daily content, both historical reaction videos, but also historic site videos. I'm actually working on some of my older videos, re-editing them in the new style that I used for my videos from Fredericksburg and Chancellorsville. I'm also going to be heading out here in the next week or two to get a couple more videos, more locally, to some historic sites. And then the big trip planned at the end of May, where I'm going to be heading to the Chickamauga battlefield, to the Chattanooga battlefields, possibly Andersonville prison site, and then of course Toccoa, where Easy Company and the Men of Band of Brothers and others trained, as I work with the cleanup crew to clean up graffiti up on top of Currahee Mountain. But let's dive in to this epic rap battle today.
Cleopatra versus Marilyn Monroe.
Whose rap flows the dopest? Marilyn Monroe's overthrow pharaohs who opposed me like Moses. You could never kick my ass, so kiss my clitoris. This ugly hag and G got matching noses.
All right, so not too much to respond to in way of references there. I don't get the G thing. Maybe somebody can explain that one to me. But Marilyn Monroe's actual name wasn't Marilyn Monroe. That was a stage name. Her name was Norma Jean Baker. She was married multiple times, some to not famous people, some to famous people. I've actually visited her grave. I'll put a link in the description down to my visit to the cemetery, which is packed. I mean, I've never in my life been to a cemetery that was that small, that had that many famous people in such a small space. So I'll put a link in the description to my visit to Westwood Village Cemetery in downtown Los Angeles, where she's buried. But we will get into some of her history as we go along, I'm sure.
You better hold more than your skirt, miss, please. I'm the queen of the Nile, so just bow down to me. Plus you got so much experience down on your knees. Married a writer, but I don't even think you can...
So married a writer, she's talking about Arthur Miller, who wrote Death of a Salesman. Was a very famous playwright. She was married to him for a brief time, married to Joe DiMaggio for a while. Those were the two most famous marriages she had. Cleopatra, a lot of people think of her as an Egyptian pharaoh, which she technically was, but her family was the Ptolemy dynasty. They were more Greek in ancestry than they were African or Egyptian. Cleopatra was not black. She wasn't even remotely black. She had a tiny, tiny bit of African ancestry, but it was almost all Greek. And anyway, the northern part of Africa is very different genetically than sub-Saharan Africa is. So, and it doesn't really matter. I don't know why we argue so much about what her race was. She was Greek, and she was the product of multiple generations of incest. She was married to her own brother. Her name was technically Cleopatra the Seventh. And her mother and father were related to each other. Her grandparents were related to each other. If you look at her family tree, it's more like a family poll, because it's really just the same 3 or 4 people married to each other and over and over again from like 2 or 3 families.
Read. You'll sleep with any ugly dude who says he likes it hot. Even Joe DiMaggio took a swing in your batter's box. I'm a descendant of the gods, don't anger me trick. You'll lose this battle like your bout with barbiturates.
Oh, okay, so... Bout with barbiturates. Marilyn Monroe died. It was very famously reported she died nude in her bed from an overdose of barbiturates. I think that actually happened on my birthday. It was August 5th, 1962. So it was actually a little bit more than a year before John F. Kennedy was assassinated. She very famously had an affair with JFK, possibly Robert Kennedy as well.
I have some ugly boys, but you're forgetting the others. Marlon Brando and the Kennedys. Well, you fucked your own brothers. You think you're so chic up in your fancy palace, getting low on Mark Anthony, tossing Caesar's sack.
So, She did have a relationship, Cleopatra did, with Caesar. She actually had a child with Caesar. His name was Caesarion. I think he lived to be about 17 before he died in some of the Roman revolts that were going on. She also was married to Mark Antony. They committed suicide together when they were losing his civil war against Octavian, who became Caesar Augustus. And I think it was not long after that Caesarion was killed as well.
You wear too much eyeliner for anyone to adore you. You might as well be working the door at Sephora. I got an ass that won't quit. You had an ass that got bit. On the tip. Somebody wrap this bitch back up in a car.
Okay, so that was how she was said to have committed suicide, was that she used an asp and had it bite her on the breast. And that was how she killed herself.
You still got no children after your third marriage. You lost so many babies, we should call you miscarriage. You got an hourglass figure, but that's about it. I can't live the wind, I can't act for shit.
I'm not going to respond to the miscarriage thing. That's a little harsh and kind of close to home. But yeah, the song "Candle in the Wind" by Elton John was originally written for Marilyn Monroe. The first line of the song is "Goodbye, Norma Jean, though we never knew you at all. You had the grace to hold yourself while those around you fall." The whole song is very sad, very tragic, and it really kind of talks about the story of Marilyn Monroe's life and how he even talks about her as, you know, how he sees her as something more than an object of sexuality, more than just our Marilyn Monroe. Because Marilyn Monroe did very much kind of become this caricature, this persona that wasn't really who Norma Jean Baker was. It's a very tragic story, Marilyn Monroe, what happened to her. And you can visit her grave today, and there's like kiss marks all over it. And Hugh Hefner buried right next to her. In fact, he had just died when I went to the cemetery, and there was no name there yet, but he was there.
Translate this into hieroglyphs. Your sandy vagina has a 7-year itch.
7-Year Itch was a movie that Marilyn Monroe starred in. It was one of her more famous movies.
My best friends are diamonds. You can't beat me. Step up and walk your ass home like an Egyptian.
So, and Diamonds Are a Girl's Best Friend is another one. So, all right. I got to go with Marilyn Monroe. I mean, granted, I've got a soft spot in my heart for her because I think that she was taken advantage of by a lot of people in her life. And I've always felt very sad for her, for what happened in her life. And also, she's an American, so maybe I'm a little biased, and I'm acknowledging my bias. But I would love for you to confirm or deny. Am I right? I felt like Marilyn Monroe's disses were better. I think Cleopatra has a lot more to make fun of than Marilyn Monroe. I don't know. But let me know your thoughts. Use the comment section below. Hit that like button. Let me know any of the references that maybe I missed. I'm sure there are some. And let me know if there's another rap battle you'd like me to react to. I'll throw some ideas over on Patreon for all of our patrons to vote on which one they'd like to see next. And we'll come back in another week or two with the next one. Thanks for watching.